Cross-Examine, episode 94. We're back.
5?
No, 4.
Okay.
It's 94.
That's right, because
What?
We split recordings.
Split recordings?
Yeah, Bonwy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you were thinking of Bonwy episode. Yeah, hey, we recorded on 2 separate days. If you can't tell, we're wearing... I think I might be wearing... No, we're in a different thing.
I'm
think.
definitely
I don't know.
not wearing the same thing.
I'm Matt. That's Justus. That's Ed. Winry's down there.
Yeah, we'll be talking about
The A-list.
Overlord, Classroom of the Elite Season 2, Rent-A-Girlfriend Season 2, and Engage Kiss.
You know what A stands for?
Um,
Eins. A starting out with Overlord. You didn't fucking see that coming out, did you, motherfucker?
oh, Jesus.
Right. Oh. Do you want to go first or do I want to go first?
I'm going to immediately point out that Eins, who goes into an arena and just was going to battle a big fucking orc king, God, he looks so badass.
The Warrior King?
Whatever.
Excuse you?
He was an orc. But he looks so fucking badass. It's like, wear that outfit.
His whole outfit on there? Yeah, his outfit was pretty
dope
dope on there. I love how he just shows up in the crowd. Orc shows up. Yeah! Eins shows up. There's that one guy over there. Woo! Eins! And then, of course, the prince over there is like, come on, Warrior King, you can do it.
Isn't he the emperor?
Yeah. Eins is over there like, you can always try and hide it a little bit. Dude, it was a pretty good couple episodes. Before we continue about the tournament thing that went on, can we talk about 1 second people wanting to be sat on in this series?
Look.
Was it Sokaitos or whatever his name is? Basically the crustacean dude. He's like, who's a better seat, me or Shaltir? And he's like, I don't know what to say to that. I suppose you. It's like, but anyways, besides that, back to the tournament on there. The tournament that lasted listen, Eins was like, I'm going to use no magic, no abilities on there. And he's such a badass. He's like, I can't nullify my passive abilities. It just happens. He touches the orc and he's like, it fills you with despair and takes away your stamina just from me touching you. Sorry.
Here, let me give you a back rub.
That's literally what he does. He's like, let me touch you a little bit on there. And then Eins is over there. He stole so you remember the girl from season 1? The assassin girl that had all the heroes' tags as her armor.
Okay.
And she had the little poker sticks Eins was using. He's using the same tactic she did. Someone showed a side by side. I'm not going to pretend like I remember this. Someone showed me a picture.
Was that Evil Eye, the one with the mask?
No. No, Evil Eye is the other girl.
God.
There's that one bitch from the first season that he crushed to death. She's like, let me go.
It's been a while.
And she's clawing at him. Listen, it was season 1 was pretty gruesome on there. And he literally takes out the orc the same way. He's like, let me walk over. Puke.
He does revive him because they talk the whole time, and
I can even bring people back from the dead.
Yeah, it's like if you lose, you'll serve under me. And he's like, yeah, fine.
I'll die. It's I guess you're gonna serve under him now.
Fuck you, loser! I could resurrect.
The strongest man in the kingdom is now serving under Eins. So, the thing is, he used it as a whole political ploy of you want to be an Avenger? Is he licking you now?
Yeah.
Wow, you fucking slut. Sorry, my cat's licking Justice for audio only listeners. You should come watch on YouTube. Leave a like. I don't know. It was pretty interesting. Then the other 2 episodes were just kind of political.
Oh, yeah. I mean, of course.
It just,
even that episode was kind of politically
focused. 50% political.
Yeah, because, of course, other kingdoms are like, what the fuck happened over there?
Well, no. Oh, we forgot to mention what was it? The kingdom of... I wrote it down, but I don't have my notes with me. I mean, I have my notes with me, but I didn't pull them up on there. It's the Wizard Kingdom or whatever.
Oh, well, there's a couple, in a fire and a something else kingdom.
Well, no, they're the top mages of that. It's the mage from whatever to... Sorry, I'm trying to pull up my notes.
Look, they were kind of bland.
Listen, all I'm saying is they had a lot of pointy hats, and thank God there wasn't a Wizard of the Snow on there, because that would have been pretty fucking awkward on there. What are you dressed as? I'm the Wizard of the Snow. But are you really?
Jesus.
But how much else happened? Because now they're building up stuff, because we watched episode 3, 4, 5, right?
Yes.
And excuse me, I'm yawning. I didn't mean to yawn on.
We do, because
There it is. I found my notes.
Yeah, the fight was over fairly quickly. Of course, it looks like Ainz has one-upped because the Emperor is meeting with these individuals to try to figure out a way to stop Ainz. And then, Ainz shows up and ruins everything. Looks real 5-head. The man has his entire own goals and is just very lucky. He's like, I just want more adventurers. And then,
the whole Emperor was like, how did he know? And fuck him, just here, shit just happens.
I like how the one bodyguard's like, maybe it's just a coincidence. And he's like, he's too smart for that. And he's like, he's right.
Dude, what was he talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, we forgot to mention the part when he goes to visit the guy in charge of the whole thing. Because Ainz wants to learn about runes.
Yes.
Which is what happened in episode 3. And you meet this dwarf guy. He's like, sell your soul to me and we'll make your dream of runes come true.
5.
Or, the third episode of what we watched.
Yeah, because there's runes in the sword when they're setting everything up.
Because they do point out that runes take more time, but they're of higher quality. But magic is faster and cheaper is the reason. I mean, people always want faster and cheaper. So it's kind of cool to see Ainz is now going to... Well, no, they have to fight. They basically get ambushed, but they ambush the people that are ambushing, like Shaltir draws all these wolf people out. Which, first of all, I was like, well, they talk. And then my second thought was like, God damn it, there's furries out there. Fuck. They multiplied.
There were some people that pointed out that Shaltir has been kind of learning from her mistakes. Because in, I think it was season 1 or season 2, right before she gets
brainwashed.
Yeah. She was like, oh, there's like they got away kind of thing, but now she was doing tactics to make sure they couldn't get away. And it was like, oh, hey, character development. You almost kind of died once.
Cool. I mean, technically she did die once, and then Ainz was like, yo, I got all this fucking gold. Resurrect.
I mean,
what's
that's
my
why
punishment?
I said kinda.
Be my seat. Listen, there was...
Yeah.
Listen, they brought the lizard people back, and as the downfall of this series, fuck the lizard people. Well, don't listen. I'm tired of watching lizard people fuck, and I know what's gonna happen again.
That'd be funny if that was just a staple per season. It's like lizard sex, get over it. But there was the scene because you see the chick, and now she has the baby, and like kind of
sheltering.
Yeah, thank you.
She does that.
Not my kid, bitch.
Fuck you, audio listeners.
But sorry, but he's like, I'm not gonna take your kid. No, they are cute. If you had 5, I wouldn't mind one. And it's like,
what an op.
Okay, man. Like, that's kind of fucked up. But what would she be able to do? I want your kid. No. All right. Well, I'm gonna take it anyways.
I don't know if you're like, oh, stop, please, no. Also, can we talk how creepy that, speaking of Shaltir again, not to focus on her, so what are you doing? I'm writing down everything he says and does, every minute by minute. It's like, settle down, woman. Also, Ainz is like, so we're going to camp here for the night? Boom! It builds like a gigantic defendable tower of like steel inside. Like,
it was
we'll
just
sleep
literally goes create fortress, and it's like, all right, well, here's 70 floors. Have fun. Fucking knock yourself out, bud. It was a great shot because they go back to him, and the lizard dude in the back is just like,
you thought you could defeat this dude? Guess you're on your own on there.
Mm-hmm. I do think there is kind of one thing that I noticed between these 3 episodes, because when episode 2 ended, there was that whole party thing, and we kind of never got back to how that ended.
The party thing? Or
with Albedo, and they go into the closed room, and there was like discussions happening there, and that's when it cuts off.
Oh yeah.
We just don't get any more of that. I was
but the glory of Ainz, he knows this already. He planned this. He planned it? Nope, totally didn't plan it.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of weird that it was just like, oh, there's a thing being cooked up. All right, anyways, we'll get back to that later.
Oh, we did forget to mention, I guess it'll be kind of one of the last things before we move on. They did mention the god tier warriors of the magic kingdom, and they're like, well, one of these warriors could defeat like a whole army of these skeleton guys, maybe 2. But then they're like, even all 3 of them working together, we don't think they could defeat this dude. But it's crazy because it's like, okay, those must be other players that got trapped in the game. And their character design is pretty interesting because they remind you, like, these people still exist. We didn't forget about them. It's just Wait.
Yeah, because they do kind of have that revelation where it's like the one main dude's like holding back, where he's like, well, here's the rest of the information. Just have fun with that. And it's like, oh, he killed like 130,000 people with one spell. Like, I don't think those guys will be able to handle him. And then
they do add like, I mean, they already said before how many people to kill, but reminding you like, yeah, he killed 130,000 people. And like, meh.
Yeah.
It takes me 10 years to summon that. And he's like, I can just do this anytime I want.
Yeah. Which also works in his favor because now he's giving out information that's false information that would probably lead back to
them like amassing an army that he could just kill again at any time.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
He does have some spells that he can only use, like maybe like I think it was like
they're
very costly.
Yeah, the resurrection for Sheltier was a specific one because of how powerful she is. If I remember correctly,
it was like millions of gold, and then they technically need like his creature sacrifices, which was his own things that he made. Mm-hmm. But he did mention like it takes a lot to amass to resurrect her. Mm-hmm. But to be fair, she was the strongest combat person they have.
Yeah.
So. But Ainz did, because if you remember in season 1, I wonder what he's going to pull out, because he did have ticket shop items, like the pay-to-win stuff. So I wonder if those characters that they're going to fight are going to have that too, like, here's invincibility for, like, a minute type. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if they got to be other characters in this world. It can't be just him on there.
Yeah, because the specific thing was, like, when he was isekai, he just stayed on while the server was shutting down, right?
Yeah, and he was on and fell asleep while the server shut down, and then
woke up. And I would assume that there would be a really dedicated group
that played one. I mean, there's plenty of games that we played. They're like, oh, the server shutting. Like,
yeah,
Modern Warfare 2 lobbies finally shutting down. Are you kidding me? That shit was about Halo Reach lobbies shutting down.
Modern Warfare 2 lobbies are still up.
No, I'm trying to think of what it was. It was the Halo lobbies, and then everyone was on for like
Club Penguin.
Club Penguin, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, there were literally people there till it like booted them all.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was that kind of thing. So it would make sense. I think in most characters' cases, unless you really flew under the radar, Ainz probably is still the strongest because at some point the guild that he was in was the most powerful. And
yeah, I mean, to be fair, there were other people that might be able to compete, but they'd have to band together.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's great about transitions?
You're bad at them?
We're now going to mark it in the YouTube timeline thing. This is my transition phase.
Is this for Classroom of the Elite?
What?
Oh, I thought you were going to get creative with Classroom of the Elite.
Speaking of Classroom of the Elite, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
That's so lame.
You're lame. Your mom's lame. Get wrecked. You know what else is lame? Cheating in sports festivals. That's lame.
Mm-hmm.
Also, where are the teachers in this whole thing? Because there were definitely moments like, that kid is getting stepped on. I didn't see you there. It's like,
yeah,
where's the teacher?
Yeah, you see that teacher once, and it's when they're literally punching themselves. Like,
he throws one punch. There was no ruckus. It's like, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. First of all, listen, I love her. She's a great teacher. That woman needs to button up a little bit on there. I'm just saying, like, she's over there like, may I help you?
Unbutton 2 more, please.
God, was his prison high school justice?
Might as well be. Look, the rules state that there's nothing that can't be bought with the right amount of money. So
they did. I think we finally got confirmation of, or we heard before, 20 million points are needed, right? To buy your seat in Class A.
Yeah, something like that.
So 20 million points to buy your way into Class A. Sorry, I have the notes on here.
The difficulty is they don't explicitly tell even other students you've been awarded this, but they don't quite know certain aspects of why it's either so much or so little.
Because we have already seen our main girl, Suzune. Mm-hmm. She has like 2.5 million points or something like that.
Yeah, and then
she has quite a few points. And then our boy
Hanami also has 2 million.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they do show her phone. Like, she's also in the she wants to get a lot of points on there. Mm-hmm. And we should say we watched episode 3, 4, 5 as well.
Yes.
And we're talking about the sports festival. We'll go back to like on the ship on there. But there's a lot in the show that kind of takes you out. Because that was the first thing I thought. It's like, teacher's supposed to be supervising. Yes, you can buy a lot of stuff with points, but it's like the teachers hype this stuff up, and it's like, you can make it a little more realistic. Like have a teacher like, hey, stop that. And then like, whatever, make no punishment of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that dude literally was getting punched, kicked, hurt. And then Suzume, she at one point is getting targeted by Class C. So all of them are getting targeted basically only by Class C.
Mm-hmm. Because someone has linked the roster of what they're going to be playing in.
Yeah. So they're trying to find out who the mole is, and they think it's what's her name? It's Kikyo.
Yeah. And she's like definitely it. Also
Kushida, sorry. That's what they call her, Kushida.
Yeah, well, yeah, because that's her last name. And typically they go by the last names except for a couple of them. It's real annoying.
But I wonder if she actually is.
No, she 100% is.
Okay.
There's a couple really telltale stuff.
I just want them to throw like a loop of like, well, actually.
Part of the problem is like even the way a lot of it's been set up. Because at one point, Ayano Koji and Suzune are sitting there with her doing a scouting thing. And Suzune goes, "You're the mole, aren't you?" And she goes, "No." And then goes, "Hey, here's this one thing," and immediately diverts.
Yeah.
Or I think specifically she doesn't even say no. She's like, "Oh, why would you think that?" And then like,
the thing
immediately
is that you know what made that scene better? Kyoji's response of, "Wow, really to the point on this one, aren't we?" And just like, "You're the mole. You tell me."
Yeah. And then later, because Suzune has been all sorts of fucked up. The two kind of main big ones, it's like the one red-haired dude, I forget his name. It's not on the core middle of this.
Or Ren.
Yeah.
I want to know because she's like, "Hey, it's me, Ren. Hey, it's me, Ren. How you doing?"
Yeah, he's getting heavily targeted, and though he's supposed to be like the leader of the sports festival, and he's getting all sorts of fucking pissed off. And Suzune is also supposed to, doing her damnedest, but because they're being targeted during a running I forget a running event. I forget exactly what it is. She like runs into someone from Class C and is eventually like shown to be severely hurt, which people had mixed kind of things because it was like an off.
It was an off-camera scene.
Mm-hmm. Though everyone was like, in the light novel, they do build up in this stuff where literally there's the Ryuin like.
Yeah, I wonder if it's because it's a little. I wouldn't say rush, but it's like. The thing is, it's an important scene, but you don't give the other important scene to the scene.
Yes, because in that scenario, like
we could have done
clearly Ryuin is the one behind it.
Yeah,
he set it up so that way Suzune could be hurt, and then the other chick would get hurt. And then like they can't go to the teachers or whatever because it's like, oh, he's too smart, and that's kind of how they just brush it off. Though in the light novel, based on what everyone had said, where it's like. Yeah, if they actually drew the scene out, there was a pre-scene where the chick that got hurt and him are practicing the best angle for her to be hurt the most, which is super important. I'm annoyed they left that out. And also during the run, she would yell out Suzune's name, so that way any onlookers, like teachers, because you can't hear from that, she was consistently like looking back, like targeting her. Or it's like, oh, that's really good context, but we don't get that.
They could have done without like the log push, whatever. Also, can we talk about how dangerous that is? Let's push over this giant log that's going to be held up by 4 people.
Also, fuck to that black man is in high school. That is like,
yo, that man got some fucking protein, man. He's like that shirt is 3 sizes too small for him, and he knows it.
Yeah, the movie like Benchwarmers or whatever, where they get that like 30-year-old dude where it's like, this is my birthday certificate, and he's like drinking tequila, and it's like it's the same shit. Fuck you, that guy's in high school.
Yeah. Hey, just thought of something. Anything can be bought with points, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want the teacher's panties? And I wonder how much you would sell those for. Just a side note on there.
I mean, it's a possibility. But
Campbell's chicken noodle soup.
Right now, everything looks kind of fucked. Suzune's been doing real dumb stuff, which, by the way, it's a real long roundabout. This is why you know that one chick is also totally the mole, because she's conveniently the one that is like, oh, that chick's like really hurt, and then is trying to help guide of like, oh, like let's try to like, reconcile this, where it's like he's totally sent her to go get them, showed the bruise, and be like,
yeah,
I want to just ruin her.
Too
Convenient.
Important things to mention about that before we talk about the end results of the last thing they had, the boat. They offered who is it? Ruin. He offered originally 1 million points to keep the story under wraps. Now it's 1 million, and I need you to grovel at my feet. So if she does it or not. Besides that, I wanted to skip over the end results of the boat till we had a little bit of time, so we got to speed through it a little bit. Okay, I told Justice at one point, there's a point where there's too much on screen. Maybe I'll put it in, maybe I won't on there. That is too much shit to be put on the screen, Justice. This screenshot is full. Now it gives the results real quick. Class A had minus 200 class points because they guessed totally wrong on everything, it seems like. Class B had no point change. Class C had 100 plus 100 points. Class D had plus 50 class points. And the whole point of the thing, it makes sense now that they've explained it, and even then they say that in the show. Well, if you organize everyone's name alphabetically in the class, if you're in Mars, you're the fourth person picked in the class. Yeah,
because that is X amount away from the sun.
Yeah. And then, their class, because Class C realized that almost right away. And then I think they didn't really go into it, but I imagine Class A probably figured it out. But Class C threw them off because Class C is the one that walked away with the most points. Class B just kind of evened out, and then Class D actually gained points. But that's not even important on there because you find out that, what's her name? Karuzuki, whatever. The girl that's kind of been bullied really gets fucking bullied on there. And the whole Pidgey Girl squad shows up like, slap her, Justice. Slap her.
It gets real like tormenty.
I stopped counting after 12. She slapped her real hard 12 times, and
she gets into it.
See, the best part is our main boy, Kiyotaka?
Ayana
Koji, anyways. He's watching, and I'm like, there's no way he's not recording. It'd be perfect. And he was recording the whole time. He's like,
of course.
Let me get by you, spread your legs. It's like, well, hold the phone. Spread your legs, man. He's like, I need my phone.
Yeah.
Well, he's recording on her phone on there.
Yeah.
And then there's even a bigger plot thing of like, switch me phones with another dude. So they switch phones and they call. So he throws everyone off in the class like, oh, you caught our master plan. But they switch phones again. And you can't use class points to switch your phone number. But you can use class points to get new SIM cards. I'm like, oh, fuck off.
Exactly. That is the whole point. It's where it's like, you can spend money and get whatever, man. It's like,
you can, not class points. You can spend personal points. And because Koji's, Iono Koji, his whole point is to get all of the class to the top. Yeah. Like, class A.
Which is currently right now, doesn't look like it, but he's definitely doing that. Like, all of you fuckers need to be beaten into the ground to realize that, like, you need to make changes.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely building up his group of people because he's got Ren, he's got Kei, he's got Horikita.
Suzume.
I think he just calls her Hori a lot of times.
Yeah.
She's a whore.
But by the way, this man's ruthless. Within those couple of episodes, he pulls the like spread your legs like power dynamic, and even while she's like talking back, she's like literally kind of doing it.
You just get used. It was pretty depressing.
Yeah, but it basically shows where it's like, look, if you don't want anything like that to ever happen again, that's how he gets her under the wing. And this man literally walks up to Susan and be like, "Stop being worthless."
He did. He's like, "Why are you so worthless?" Listen, the whole spread your legs thing was a very sad, weird thing of like, this really happens to people. And she's like, you just get used to it and you just go with it and you stop thinking about it. And she's like spreading her legs. Is like, let's hope this doesn't continue like that. Yo, class, what's her name? Honami?
Yeah.
Isn't she class B?
I think it's Hanami. But
Hanami? Yeah. She's class B, right? She really thought she had them all figured out and tricked everyone on there. It's like, nope, you're fucking wrong.
Yeah.
I still kind of get the point deduction thing. I mean, they listed it at the end. There was like literally like 4 things back to back of like full page text, full page text.
I typically don't pay too much attention to them. Just they're nice, But even if you do fully know Japanese, unless you are taking the time to pause it, like, it's additional information, but you already know that, like, the Class D definitely weren't the overall winners, and
they did better than B.
Mm-hmm.
They did better than B and A. And I feel like his Ayano Koji's whole idea is not to win everything against Class A, B, and C. It's just to make them lose enough that they exceed. Like, they don't need to be number one.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess one thing we should point out with the sports festival before we move on is the whole perk of the sports festival, and the reason why their roster being leaked is bad is because if you choose to compete in the competitions, if you're in the top 3, you get extra points on the test. Yeah. And the whole class's points can go up. So, like, you could basically fail a test, but then come out with a B on there. But if you're in the bottom 3, like the bottom 3 in each heat thing, then you lose points. And your class can lose points, and you lose points off your grade.
Yeah.
And that's why it being leaked is so bad, because now they can just have people that beat them in everything.
Yeah. There was an entire thing where Suzune had a specific, like, just do this, and then some Ayano Koji was like, hey, Kurosawa, fucking argue it.
Yeah, he was like, just argue with her on there to try. I feel like it's to pull the class apart, because he said it to pull them apart to find the mole.
Yeah, well, not only to find the mole, but Suzune is very hard-headed, and, like, argue with her so that way she can argue the specifics of why it's a good idea. And, you know, just being like, we need to do this. Why? Because isn't
because effective. The class was split almost 50-50, but Suzune technically
it was 40,
it was
like 60.
And then Koji abstained from the vote, and she's all pissed.
Like, there were, like, 5 people that abstained, something like that.
Yeah, which I feel like in that situation, it makes sense to them. Listen, everyone in Class D is really not. Everyone in Class A seems to be smart, and it's only a few people that are super good at everything. Class B, you have a whole bunch of, like, good people. Class C relies basically on 2 guys.
C stands for cunts.
Yeah, that's true. Cunt squad, let's go. And then D is definitely that everyone's good at one thing, really good at one thing, but they're terrible at everything else.
Yeah. By the way, the blonde buff dude, absolute bitch. Someone needs to just, like,
well, that's why I'm thinking, like, maybe he got paid not to compete on there.
No, he's too much of a fucking pretty boy. Literally, like, he was willing to throw his entire group under the table just so he could go tan.
Yeah.
So
maybe it's a long con. Maybe he's the one behind everything.
No, definitely
maybe
not.
He's Hitler.
But yeah, there's a lot of things going on. Occasionally, because you did see that Class A chick, the kind of smaller one, where it's like, oh, like, they're setting whatever thing in motion for them. And if whatever they're doing, they're either shit at it because they were paired with D and they're not winning, or they've got an ace up their sleeve at the end, which might turn things around. But yes, Class A is very smart. I have yet to see any of it.
Well, I think Class A, they'd purposely leave them out of the pick. Because I think the only time we saw real Class A was the camp. When they went camping and stuff. Like, that's when they really lay down to, like, their master plot and stuff. But I feel like Class A, you only really see, like, 3 people constantly. I mean, probably to save on character. I don't know. I haven't read the manga, so I don't know for sure on there.
Suzune's older brother is in Class A. He's a fucking cunt, too.
You know what A stands for? Amazing. You know what also is amazing?
Not this show.
Ruka's love for our boy.
She wanted to fuck him in the middle of
that woman.
typhoon.
Okay, listen.
Rent a girlfriend.
Boy. Rent a girlfriend. Transition. I'm trying to space them out like 60 minutes apart, so I know exactly when the transition down there. Welcome, people that want to watch just Rent a Girlfriend. I'm trying to defend Ruka's actions.
She's in love.
She's in love. The only man that can make her heart pound, her fake heart on there, which we talked about this last time when it came up. I never knew people could live on a heart for like years, like an artificial heart on there. But usually they have like a thingy sometimes or a thing hang out. Her conveniently doesn't on there. That's not what I want to talk about, Justice. Do you know what I want to talk about?
This man's post-nut clarity that he literally said.
But there's that. We'll come back to it. No, I want to talk about how can I be a voice actor and get paid to go, Listen, there's one point when he meets Sumi for a date. We'll full circle back to it. She doesn't say a goddamn word. She goes, It's just fucking Nezuko all over again. And it's like, why are you getting paid for this shit? This is like worse than
your favorite voice actress.
I know.
Let her have a break instead of yelling explosion.
I need to hear this voice. I need to hear this beautiful, beautiful voice say something on there.
She just says stuff occasionally.
I mean, she is saying stuff in the maid thing for Labyrinth. She's also in Classroom with Elite. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that. Sorry, I'll go back to it. It just kills me because she plays this shy, like Sumi plays this shy character that's like, doesn't know how to say stuff, super cute, like sucks at stuff, her panties occasionally show on there. And at one point, she does grab her boy. It's like, let's go do one more thing. And they see Chizuru up top in a Power Ranger suit. I immediately recognized the voice.
Ranger.
Yeah, Pink Ranger. He's like, why you bring me to like a Ranger show on there? Oh, is that Chizuru? It's like, I didn't realize she was doing so many side jobs. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's like,
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the whole episode they went shopping for her to find like the perfect gift because our boy, he's a stalker. He's got issues. Our boy has issues.
This would all be solved if he just got like the $20 Amazon cam and just like set it on our balcony. It'd be real easy. He's right there. He can run the extension cord.
Justus, do you realize how many crime? Oh my God, they talked about in the podcast like creeping on people. It's such a meh crime in Japan compared to here. It's like, yo, you fucking stalking someone, you're doing some hard time in jail. I think it's just like a fine or like probation over there.
Let's also be honest. Chizuru down bad, she'd be down for it.
She almost did though. Like when he tripped over her and he's on top, and she's like,
she's
like, get off.
Lost her key.
Well, she said, get off. Now, what does that mean?
She was blushing quite a bit. And then
the
bitch mommy shows up.
Oh my God.
Ruining the mood.
Well, the thing is she shows up uninvited. To be fair, that boy needs to learn to lock his apartment. Because they literally earlier...
Well, it was just kind of like an accident thing. Like, imagine if a girl you liked a lot immediately knocked on your door and was like, can I come in? Would you be like, yeah, hold on, let me...
You mean Rei Takahashi?
Well, yeah. Would you be like, sorry, gotta lock the door, so give me a second?
I mean, if I'm sitting right next with, the Queen of England, I'm trying to think of someone that I like better than her, and I think it's really only the Queen of England. You know how much money she's worth? Do
you know how old she is?
I know, that's right. I only got to be married to her for like a year or two on there. I mean, what are you talking about, Justus?
Have you ever seen, like, Flower in a Bloom?
God, you're nasty, dude. You're fucking nasty. That's the queen you're talking about. So anyways, back to the show on there. What really happened, like, there was a lot of, like, listen, Rent a Girlfriend, definitely funny. Definitely comedic on there. When they have that sleepover, yes, we're coming back to the sleepover on there. Listen, that boy at first, he's like, he definitely wants to get with her. Definitely has imaginations in his head, like, yo, we're going to fucking bone. And I saw a comment, it was hilarious, like, man, I can't believe it's not hentai. It's like one.
We're real close.
It's like two animated pixels away from it because not only does she go in his shower, he's like, "Oh, I'm not wearing any pants," kind of hinting at it. Then he's kind of on top of her, and there's even the point where they're sitting at the coffee table, going through her bag. That condom is a fucking boomerang, dude. That condom went like this. Listen, condom, like if something falls out, like I need with something like flat I can throw down, like. Yo, give me that. Like, listen, it's going to be loud. Sorry, you go like this, right? The thing falls down. It goes... It like fucking 180s back towards him on there. Lands perfect. And she's like, that was just in case. And he's like, just in case on there. It's like, dude, that is your chance. Take it.
Yeah, what's he do? He's like, I'm going to go take a shower. And then wanks one in the shower. And
yeah, and then he comes out. She's like, you didn't do anything suspicious in the shower. No, you totally did. It's like a Telltale game. It's like everyone noticed that on there.
Yeah,
it's like, and then he goes to like sleep away from her, and at one point she comes up, kind of cuddles with him, and then it gets wholesome of like, I will never loved anybody like you, make my heart race, blah blah blah. And he's like, I didn't sleep at all that night.
My homie's over there like, I love Chizuru, fucking Subaru, and the shit out of this.
God, that's exactly what it is. Maybe that's why I hate him so much. He has the perfect woman. To be fair, she does have kind of blue hair. Blue hair girls don't win.
No,
Just
they do not.
saying.
Bitches don't deserve shit.
Yeah. Listen, how dare you say that about a disabled girl? Think about your actions. You just call him
hold on.
bitch.
By the way, literally the fact that at one point where he's like, oh man, I'm so glad. Like, I've got this post-nut clarity where it's like, who had to subtitle that shit? Like
an intern.
Fucking
like who?
Had
I don't
to
know
have been
any
dying.
guy that gets done. They're like, thank God about this post-nut clarity. No one says that to stuff. They're like, got that job done in about 20 seconds. Also, he wasn't in that shower very long. Just saying on there.
I mean, dude, it's not like it. There was
Listen, our boy is down bad.
He is down bad.
Listen, there was a few notes I wanted to make.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, they did go shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear the slurp on there.
Oh, sorry.
They spent $32. And listen, what is that? And turtle was 20 of that. I don't know how expensive turtle is because I don't know. Can you get turtle here? Is that a food you can eat here?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's legal or not in the U.S. because I know horse is not legal here. $32 for like a nice cooked meal between you and a lover. I don't think it's that bad on there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that woman told her was just looking at like step-by-step instructions on how to like do all the cooking and everything.
Yeah. She tried though.
Also,
here's a beer. Oh, I don't need the beer.
And then pours it in. Yeah, that's what I was gonna point out. I was like, listen, beer was like, she's just like, let's get him drunk. That woman is totally trying to take advantage of a man. Listen, if you feel like you're being taken advantage, get help, or don't.
Unless you're lonely. It's fine
Listen,
to have
if you got a woman like Sumi, Mimi, Mami, and then like Chizuru and Ruka fawning over you, go for Ruka, man. You don't know what she'll do. She got that gorilla.
Sumi got to be a freak in bed though.
Would she? I feel like she'll
give you that like glop glop 9,000.
No, it's the gawk yeah. Glop glop slip slop 9,000 with the super sucker.
Yeah, she knows the grapefruit technique. How about that? But it definitely not mommy.
I'm very confused by the notes I wrote here.
Fucking mommy is the one where it's like, I mean, yeah, she'll change, right?
Can we just change her name? It just sounds so bad saying like. Saying mommy, basically.
I mean, you could just say Nanami. Is that better?
I call her bitch.
By the way,
that's literally what she is. Go ahead.
Right now on Crunchyroll, it doesn't matter what fucking show you're watching. If it's popular enough, it's like, yo, by the way, fuck Mommy John. It's like, dude, I'm watching Overlord. Piss off. Let me have this.
I just love how the memes have come back. It's like me and my homies all hate Mommy John. It's like, it's just pretty good. No, I have notes in here that very confused me. It just says boobs on there. Also, the one note I did want to point out.
Is that Chizuru in the shower?
I think so. I don't know. Also, Ruka definitely lied to me. I'm like, I'm staying with a friend on there. It's like, who you staying with? That's someone I want to fuck on there. I mean, there was something else I wanted to point out. I'm just looking through my notes real quick to see what it is. But I just really can't find it. What the fuck was it on there? Justice, I need you to stall. I'm stalling.
Sumi was adorable, by the way. Though she doesn't talk very much, she still knows how to like play the rental girlfriend pretty well. And even
wait, I have a question about that. So didn't he reserve Mizuha or Chizu? Oh my god, what the fuck? Chizuru. Sorry, I'm like mixing people. I thought he reserved her, and then Sumi showed up, or did he reserve Sumi to find the gift for her? But then he also booked Chizuru on her birthday.
Yes,
on there. Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out.
It's either that, because it was a little weird. Either that, or he booked Sumi, but then they still show the Chizuru birthday kind of card stuff. By the way, he does like. I made the joke about the camera around the corner because they literally share a balcony with the kind of the wall.
Yeah.
That's where he puts the present.
Yeah, it was kind of adorable. He's like, here's that. She's like, oh, you.
Yeah,
literally, she's like,
plum.
He didn't have to get me anything. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, that jerk. It's like, oh, she's got feelings. She's fucking got feelings.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to. Because he's a pussy, so they end. Listen, I found out what I wanted to say. You know who he reminds me of? Our main boy. He reminds me of Rido by how fucking fast he comes to a conclusion of the super extreme of like, oh, she came over to say hi. She definitely wants to bang. It's like, dude, she doesn't want to bang. She just can't get into her apartment. Leave her alone.
I don't know. There was definitely a point there where it's like, she kind of wants to bang.
Because literally he's at the point, like, she can sleep here. How's this going to work? And then she starts to climb over, and that's how he's like, okay, I'm going to save her. Where do I grab? Grabs ass. That's just as bad. Grabs waist, starts going towards chest. Like, what are you doing? It's just...
Look, maybe she should have asked for some help, or at least, like, said, hey.
You know what she could have done? Stood up on the railing, held onto the wood, and then gone around. Why crawl when you could do...
Honestly, didn't even need to do that. Literally, it's one of those where you get to the railing, throw one arm, the leg around the railing, and then you just leg around the other side, and then you...
Shuffle over.
Yeah.
I mean, they're only on the second floor. It's not even that high on there. I mean,
it's...
they're not weak like us. It's still like us Americans.
But
20 feet up.
25.
The story's like 11 feet. We had this conversation once.
Well, so it's 22 feet up.
No, that's it. They were at the top of the second story. They're at the top of the first story. From her legs to the ground, she'd fall like maybe 11 feet.
No, definitely.
And she's probably like 4 foot. So it's like
ceilings are 10 feet, and where
so
she is, if she went over the railing, it'd be at least another 3 to 4 feet from being on the railing itself, which would already go up to waist. So it'd be, even at that point, a minimum of 15.
So it'd be like 15 feet, yeah. So it's not 20 feet. Come on, you the 15-foot fall, you'll be fine. That's 15 feet from the waist. I mean, to be fair, she's falling from the feet, so her feet are like 11 feet from the ground. Maybe that's episode. Would Chizuru die from a fall on there? To be fair, we're talking Japanese stories instead of American stories, and we know how American stories end. Back World War champions, just saying. That's about all I have for that. Hey, you know who else who almost banged but really did bang? We're watching Engage Kiss. I did about 60 minutes there. Listen. I was watching episode 3 at work. I was like, wow, this is kind of spicy. Then later that day, I was watching it in my car before I left work. And I was like, man, thank God I didn't watch this at work, because it's just at the point, it's like, come here, Shu. And he's like, shirt off. I'm going to kiss him. Let me cover his eyes so he doesn't know it's me. It's like, bitch, you're the only two people.
No, that's not why.
Well, I mean, basically, she's embarrassed. Come on.
That wasn't even why either. Did you pay attention?
I did pay attention.
It's literally about the reflections, because the fucking 2-armed knife bitch comes through reflections.
Oh, so just listen, man. Like,
that's literally why. It's also why her mother didn't look at her in the scene prior.
But did they have to bang for that?
No, but
let's see. That's what I'm saying.
Chad moved because you figure out why after that.
So she took advantage of him.
That he still loves her. Come on now.
No, that's a what?
He definitely does. Before that, though,
he took advantage of her, Justice.
No, we all know she took advantage of him.
Sorry, that's what I meant. She took advantage of him. He was just a victim at that point.
We'll get back to this.
She asked for consent. I think not.
I mean, he didn't.
Welcome to the highlight reel, everybody.
Didn't say no.
Shu gets taken advantage of. Prove me wrong.
I mean, at one point, Heath put her kind of in the different position, so I would say, like, it's a mutual.
Listen, my client has nothing to say about this.
Yeah, well, client doesn't remember shit either. Which, speaking of not remembering shit, we do get the official confirmation, because you kind of, like, see him black out a little bit in, like, episode 1 and episode 2, and you're like, oh, that's kind of weird, but they don't really talk about it. And then it's like, yeah, anytime did fucking, what's her name?
Kisara?
Yeah. Kisara, I went to look over at it and I didn't notice it. Fine, I got it. Whenever she kisses him, she's taking memories, and that's how she becomes more powerful.
I'm just trying to think of, like, how many memories, like, I want to know how the memories work. Like, is like the first time he winked it like a level 2 memory that he gets? Or is like, hey, I did a math test. Is that like a...
I think she gets to choose the memories. Because, like, it's definitely not just we're going from the furthest back to... Because, she took a memory that literally happened 10 minutes prior, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool kind of, like, concept type thing. Also, I kind of hate how weak they make her seem already. Because it's like, oh, like, I'm going to go all out now. Then it's like, oh, here's like kind of like a mid-level boss because there's definitely going to be stronger people in here. It's like,
yeah. It's
to be fair, the boy, Tanya, how'd she say his name? It just really threw me out because I was like,
it's supposed to be Tony, but yeah.
There was like this guy that gets caught up in like gang affairs, and then it turns out the girlfriend is like scissor lady things.
Well, he was doing. He was one of the demon possessed.
Yeah.
And yeah, then she's demon possessed.
You know what made me mad about that episode though? Nothing to do with the show, but the character design for that girl reminded me of the person from Inspector. And then I realized, man, it's getting another season. Then I realized, oh, that detective already dead is getting another season. I'm like, why are all these shitty shows getting another season on there? Fuck these shows.
I can call it right now. We're going to be talking about both.
I hate my life. We never finished Inspector.
I did.
Oh, yeah, you can talk about that. I ain't watching that fucking show ever again. I'm not touching with a 10-foot fucking pole.
It only got really, like, talky near the end, but that's all. It was fine.
There were 2 episodes where we sat and talked about this thing. That's besides the point on there.
But,
Miles is a real G, by the way.
Yeah. He tries his best. I still don't quite get, because his kind of partner, Tetsuya, I don't really know what his motivation is, because at one point he's like really enthusiastic to Shu being like, I'm gonna help you with this, and it's like, yeah, but what's the motivation here?
I don't know what the motivation is. I mean, you're gonna have to figure out that.
Well, yeah, that's just kind of what I'm saying though, because he was like really overly enthusiastic about suddenly helping someone that he's never actually interacted with. I think he's the bad guy.
Is Ayano gonna be pregnant?
No. That'd be the weirdest power
Also,
move.
I'm kind of figuring out, when is this nun gonna show up more? I'm just saying, dude, like, maybe he's gonna bang the nun.
Sharon Holy Grail. What a fucking name for a nun.
Yo, her last name is Holy Grail. What do we name her? Sharon. Oh my god. Hang on.
That's like having a prostitute with the name of Barbara Nut and Me.
No, her name is Ayano.
Well,
I mean, to be fair, do you think that
zero regrets would smash?
This Kisara, did she suck the memory from Shu with the whole banging?
Yeah. So she took the.
Did she take all the banging?
Well, they only banged once. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, did she take the entire memory? Is that like a level 3 memory up here? With the banging was like a level 3 memory.
Stop giving memories levels. Like,
listen, man, this is like Inception now. There's levels to this shit, man.
Whatever.
Like, you got to go fucking deeper for the better memories on there.
No.
Listen, it's a whole thing of like, yo, I kiss him, I take some memories, I got a whole bunch of power. Of course, there could be like memory levels on there.
They haven't even gotten into those levels of specifics. I'm just gonna say that she can take a memory, and that is that. Especially because it's not like she's gotten any stronger.
You know what this is? You know what the show is? It's for Melon Gold with less steps.
Yeah.
I mean...
But in this case, the pink-haired demon definitely hasn't fucked the protagonist, and the purple-haired demon definitely has.
There's no proof of this. We discussed this plenty of times. Can we talk real quick?
He admitted it in a Discord later. Whatever.
What? No.
Yeah.
I said there was no proof that they banged.
And everyone else was like, "You're autistic."
I've asked for pics of evidence, and they can have presented on there.
Well, yeah, of course, because
beyond reasonable doubt. Beyond reasonable doubt. What does that mean? Beyond reasonable doubt.
Oh well, that's a fucking Japanese. So, do they have beyond reasonable doubt?
Listen, we watched this in America. The crime was committed in this country on here.
No, it's not.
Can we talk real quick about Mikhail, the blonde guy that's like a prince or whatever the fuck he is?
I don't like when he's on screen.
He's just annoying, but the thing is, I do think he adds a little bit of comedic relief of like, this guy thinks he's useful, but he's totally fucking useless. He's almost as useless as Ayano's dad. So what's going on with my company? We just won't tell.
It's not even a company. He's no, it's not Ayano. It's the Linhua, the one at the bottom. It's her dad. He's fucking mayor.
Sorry, I thought it was Ayano's.
No, they're just friends.
Oh, are they just friends?
Well, yeah.
We've seen what she does with her friends, like Shu.
calm down.
Listen, I'm here to get to the bottom of this.
It's you girl, I know. Sorry, I just
girl,
realized what her last name is.
It's you girl.
But yeah,
Sid Snaps.
Yeah, no, the dad is absolutely worthless. It's like, you're the mayor, and both your daughters are over there.
Since
like,
when have
hey,
you
just sign this for us.
Since when have you known a politician to be like? Well, I guess it's a Japanese politician. Yeah, what the fuck?
I mean, even here in the U.S., like, they still have like a little bit of say. Like, they try to hold some power. This
one word, Culver.
Yeah,
not Culver's Culver.
Yeah, I know.
For you Iowan people.
Fucking yeah, whatever. But it was real amusing to be like, yeah, Dad, just sign this. We need to do this. Just do whatever. Like, you're good to go. It's like, oh, do I need more input on this? And it's like, nah, you're good, man.
I gotta ask something. When they bid on jobs, are they bidding in USD or is that in yen? I feel like it's in USD because like he bid on a job for like 200,000, and if that was yen, that's only 2,000 for that huge job. Versus another company did it for like 400. And that was a lot of fucking personnel to fight that giant like caterpillar worm.
I think it is in yen.
Is it?
Yeah, because at one point,
God, that'd be like $4,000 to have that many personnel. Just even drones, like your drones alone cost more than that.
Because at one point, he with one of the last fights, he wins with like a $350,000 bid, or
3,000. Like
it's $3,500, but it was like 350,000 yen.
Yeah.
And then he has to buy that package with the rush delivery. That's the same price, and that was in yen.
Jimmy John says fucking nothing on this, dude.
Yeah. By the way, the bitch shows up again.
Oh, yeah. She's even on this page. Try and say her name right now. Taku Haigoyashia. Try saying that 5 times fast.
Did you just call me fat?
Listen. Between Cum Girl Sharon and your girl, I know on here. Delivery Girl. There's her name on there. You give me shit, but that's going to be way easier to try and pronounce her name.
Yeah, that's fair.
I am kind of interested to see where this series is going because they did was that the last episode they had the worm thing? No, second to last episode.
Yeah.
Because he's on the phone and he requests he's like, I got a B through D. What do you want? He's like, give me the strongest one. Then dude basically turns into the worm. So obviously it's like a
if that
Tokyo
is the
24th Ward thing.
like
through the phone, you can transform them. Unless there's a prerequisite of you have to be injected with something and it turns you. Because in that case, someone's artificially creating these demons on there.
And they initially thought it was the blonde-haired dude. That fucker got murdered. Not him.
Unfortunately, it was not him.
Lots of people got murdered in 2 episodes.
It was like, listen, we have a lead, shows up, he's murdered. We have another lead, show up, murdered. It's like,
not only like, oh, we have another lead. It's this group over here. All the men inside are dead. Well, we'll go over there. All those men are dead except that one dude that gurgles out a name through his blood.
He's like Diana or whatever her name was.
Turned out to be like Tony's girlfriend. And then it's like, okay, well, let's go find this dude. And it's like, he's fucking dead too.
He's dead.
God damn it.
Can we just talk about how the couch is cut in half and he's supposed to be cut in half too? It's like, but he wasn't fully cut in half. It's like
censorship. You gotta
I mean, there was basically listen, the less they censor, the better the show is on there. Otherwise, you get some Danganronpa rainbow shit.
Yeah, but there's Japanese law because this is where it's made. There's certain things about gore that they gotta follow the rules.
You lose a World War and you just immediately are a pussy.
Yeah, whatever.
I want to know I'm American. 2 World Wars, baby.
I thought you were Hispanic. You're always playing sides, man.
Listen, you're just mad you lost at the Alamo. What now?
Yeah, look at where we are now. We still kept Texas.
You got a point there, but
damn, we lost one time. Still got the area though. Crazy, crazy.
I mean, the show. Luckily, the show we did debate last time. Hopefully, it didn't turn into the detective is already dead, and it hasn't.
No,
yet it holds up pretty good. I have been writing down which ones I like the best. opening and ending theme wise, because I feel like that really sets the mood for the show. Overlord's opening 100% sets the mood for the show every single episode on here. Then when you get in the classroom in the late, it's all right. It's nothing special. You get into Rent a Girlfriend, it's like, here we go, same shit, new season on here for you. But this one, why did I forget the name? Engage Kiss. I actually really enjoy this opening. I think 100% sets the mood each time.
I think it's fine.
You're wrong.
I mean, difference of opinions.
Listen, it could, you know what? Best opening of the season so far after Overlord. Call of the Night's pretty good until they do the let's stop this scene thing here. And then that's Overlord.
There have been a couple like pretty good scenes and design choices in the show that I've liked quite a bit. A funny scene. She's like chasing the chick that goes through like mirrors and reflections and stuff, and she gets fucking stuck halfway through. And it's
when she wants to jump through.
Yeah. Got a little chuckle out of me. Also, I do kind of like the design of the chick, because with It Invaded, she had a big fucking like eye beam that she used as a weapon versus literally 2 sword hands, and being able to go through just mirrors and like reflections. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. So. That's about all we have for the regular podcast. Yo, Crunchyroll. Let's talk about it. Let's make it a highlight.
Yeah.
Jinx, you owe me a right stuff?
No. Crunchyroll's already about that.
That's what we're talking about. Crunchyroll bought right stuff anime, which is weird because did they announce anything prior? Did they announce? I wonder if it was just not a hostile takeover, but I wonder if it was a behind the scenes thing, because we went to AI, heard nothing about it. That was only like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And now,
for those that don't know, Right Stuff Anime is based here in Iowa where we live. And though Anime Iowa isn't a very big convention,
they still show up.
Yeah, they still show up to support their local convention, and they do an industry panel about the things that are upcoming. This was definitely not it, because we were both there for that.
And the thing is, there was enough nerds, including us there, that would have noticed it. So I was just like, was there even a hint? Like, I've never heard of a hint of it, which we did talk.
I'm trying to remember if he said, like, with the Macross stuff, if there was any hint of it, like, if he mentioned that something was going to be on Crunchyroll.
Well, they did mention they wanted to up their production. And I wonder if Crunchyroll was the thing they wanted to do, because Crunchyroll had talked before about wanting to do more dubs and stuff of their own rather than pay someone else like Funimation did. Because now that means Funimation, Right Stuff, Anime, and Crunchyroll all fall under Sony.
And Aniplex.
But it seems like Crunchyroll is definitely the like leader in that. So I feel like maybe Crunchyroll will be the one where, hey, we're going to stream everything here. We're going to do all the dubbing here. And the storefront is just going to be Right Stuff. Because it makes sense. Rather than have you compete, because the thing is, it was Crunchyroll, Funimation, Aniplex, and Right Stuff all competing on storefronts. Now you have one storefront. Hopefully to keep the deals the same.
Everything that they've indicated, of course, things may change. But, Right Stuff is still, like, nothing's really changing. The biggest thing is all of the Arrow, like, kind of basically porn stuff is being moved to its own website. It's no longer going to be on Right Stuff.
Listen, I'm not saying I would buy any, but it just for some figures, it just seems like a horrible inconvenience to, like, unless they'll have a link on Right Stuff to its third party. So it makes sense to put
they've
everything.
already even kind of linked out to it. The site's not fully built out yet. So it's like, here's the front page.
Did they talk about closing Funimation site at all?
No.
I wonder
aware
if every single site's website now will just redirect to Right Stuff.
And yeah, who knows? Specifically, at some point, like, I've been reading through both Twitter and Reddit and seeing some of those responses where everyone's like melting down. Of course, the loudest people are the ones that are the most unhappy. Hanging on that, like, oh, they were, they're censoring all the Arrow gay stuff, where it's like, no, it's being moved just to a different site. And like, if your entire facet of you ever going to write stuff is just because you only ever bought like hentai or to be fair, they do have a pretty ecchi manga stuff.
They do have a pretty big category.
They do, but that is definitely not their primary market. Like I would say that would overall would probably make up only 10% of their total sales.
I wonder if they actually have like. I mean, they probably do have it because the thing is, they do have adult only clickable thing.
Yeah, and I always remove both live action and adult stuff.
Listen, the first time I ever sent my mother to Right Stuff's website for like, she was like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I'm like, "Nothing." She's like, "Let me buy you something." I was like, "Okay, here, go to Right Stuff. Here's like a list."
Yeah,
and she was like, "Wow, there's a lot of like dirty stuff on there." I'm like,
and that's exactly why they're moving it to another website.
Yeah, I feel like it's more because the thing is, it makes Right Stuff's website way more kid friendly. Like, I want like I'm trying a Riza Hawkeye. I don't know what's a fucking slutified character.
The fucking chick from No Games Life or no
No Game No Life. Oh, like Shino.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that'd definitely be a thing of like, oh, I like Shino, she's so cute. And then you get like porn Shino and you get regular Shino.
Yeah,
which, first of all, it's like.
Yeah, of course, she's not like overly, but she's basically like naked in where the hair. Or
we saw
bikini,
some at the anime convention.
Like, there's one where she's just wearing panties and the hair is covering the tits.
We did make a joke like,
that.
oh, you should buy that. I'm like, I'm surprised that it's just like.
Out there. Yeah.
Because even some of the convention people were like, yeah, like, we didn't bring some of the stuff because it's too spicy for this convention. Because definitely Anime Iowa seems more kid friendly.
All ages. They really kind of push that. And if them moving basically porn off of a website to another site that will totally be accessible. And at some point, you've already seen.
If you want porn, you're going to find it anyways.
Mm-hmm. And plus, you've already seen Funimation and Crunchyroll merge. At the very end of it, everyone went, fucking.
But now it's
like
way better.
Old man yelling at the cloud. And then it was like, oh, they still made all the right decisions. And it's like, okay, then shut the fuck up. Like, you've already seen them do the correct thing once.
We did talk about how Right Stuff is wanting to do more production stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope Crunchyroll does all streaming. Right Stuff gets put in charge of like more video production of older stuff and some newer stuff.
Nizumi
Nizumi
portion of that.
So it's just kind of like centralizing anime, which on one hand I can see why some people are angry because in my case it's like there's a lot of companies when they go to centralize stuff, I'd say a good like 19 out of 20 times. Yes, 19 out of 20. It goes bad for the end consumer. There's that one time it does. So hopefully if Crunchyroll makes good decisions, because a company starting off as a pirate website would know like if you try and make stuff too expensive or you force people to like only use one thing, they'll just go pirate it.
Yeah, and look, as someone who has ordered from Crunchyroll's store, Funimation store, and Right Stuff store.
Funimation's is the worst.
Funimation's is absolute dog shit, and they could throw millions at it and it will still be dog shit. Because it's coming out of California, and the logistics network there sucks. Funimation's was way better. Theirs was based in Texas, Houston, I believe.
I would say Crunchyroll's was better. I mean, I've ordered a whole bunch of stuff, and I feel like
I only ever ordered one thing through Funimation. It arrived in 3 days compared to 2.5 weeks, and I still paid for shipping through Crunchyroll. I was going to say,
I'd say Funimation wasn't both of them. Don't compare to Right Stuff. I'd say Right Stuff is probably the best shipping method. Yeah. I mean, they boast every time about we dropped the box from 40 feet up. It's perfectly good.
And that was even a couple of things where people were like, oh, like it's just, the packages are just going to become shit and stuff like that. Where it's like, no, Right Stuff has established themselves as like, this is how we do things. Why would you already change the process for that?
Why would you change? Because the thing is, all they're doing is Right Stuff was obviously making a lot of money to be able to reproduce stuff, come out with their own stuff, and take big risks.
Yeah.
So they're doing something right. Because when I buy stuff, I look at Crunchyroll and I'm like, the packages I've got have just been in the regular mailers. I mean, it just shows how much better they are that we're talking about it and promoting it. Like everything I've ordered from Right Stuff, even like just this small little Your Lie in April, they could have sent it in like a small package, but they sent it in a big package, packaged well. And I'm like, okay, got that. No problems.
Yeah.
Also, and that's what I want because it just sits on my shelf. I'm not going to ever watch it. It just sits on my shelf.
Yeah. And like with the industry panel stuff, like literally 2 weeks ago, we had them touting just how good their packaging stuff is. There's no point in continue to tout something if you know that like you're not gonna or you're gonna change it, especially if there's like a 2 week difference. Even if there's only like fucking 50 people or so that see it, they're going to conventions all the time. If that is their like staple thing, just not talking about it is really easy to do because everyone already knows that the packaging is so good.
Yeah, but you gotta keep it up.
Yeah, well, but in the case of like, oh, if they're gonna change the packaging, like just not mentioning it and like really focus on them importing Macross over and like all of those,
Macross,
whatever. But like even in that, we saw a dude literally fucking.
Dude kicked it a little too hard.
Yeah, and everything was perfectly fine. Like that man went fucking ham.
They always show it off with like something that's got glass in it, whatnot, like something that could get fucked. Because he kicked it really hard, and I was like,
at one point it hit the wall on the other side, and we were like, I hope that didn't do damage to the wall. That was one of those like, ugh.
That's why I like Right Stuff. You order like sometimes it takes a little bit of time, like especially if it's something a hot ticket item that they have to ship out hundreds, if not thousands of. But I imagine Right Stuff will get put in charge of all distribution of items.
Yes, which makes sense and also is a good reason why Right Stuff would have been bought. We're in Iowa. We're centrally located.
Hey, maybe we'll get can you imagine we got a storefront now?
We definitely aren't going to get a storefront.
Fuck you, we'll get a storefront.
Like, we're centrally located. It's so much easier to build out a storefront that's already established, and you can go, well, here's 2 million, expand.
Like, if you look at them on a map, it'd be easy for them to go buy the land next to them and make it even bigger, like warehouse. Like, when you think about big places in Iowa, guns, first of all, Brownells, biggest gun distributor I'm pretty sure in the world. Minus, like, some stuff like Colt Arms that sells rifles, but that's all military contracts. They have a warehouse here in, what is that, Newton, Iowa, or just outside Newton? Then there's, who's the other one? There's a lot of hubs in Iowa because land is cheap. You just need it for a warehouse.
Yeah.
It's whatever. But Right Stuff definitely, like, even when you look at their storage of their warehouse, like, stuff is stored good. Like, stuff doesn't look bad in there.
And they do have room
to expand.
Yeah.
What if we bought a house right across the street?
I mean, at that point, you almost feel obligated to be like, fucker, throw it across the road. Don't make me wait for shit.
You're standing outside like, I'm ready for my package.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
UPS guy picks it up like, I'm just walking across the street. Here you go, Matt.
Yeah.
Yay. Oh, no, they did not point out. But the thing is, same thing with, they should just be kept in charge of marketing. They had those one-to-one Albedo statues that are basically waist up. But what was the other one they had, the one-to-one?
I mean, there was the REM one.
No. That was one you could have ordered. They had another one-to-one.
I don't remember.
Half size. But they basically said, yeah, like we put it on our site and we sold like 2 immediately on there.
Yeah. I think they sold 4 overall.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they were like
$6,000?
No, I think they were more than that. I think they said 11.
No, the guy had bought one earlier because there was a pair of something. I can't remember what it was. Basically, if Right Stuff's kept in charge of like the objects that get shipped and sold, you make Crunchyroll in charge of streaming.
Want to know what I feel like the smartest thing to do is?
What?
For North America, have Right Stuff be the core distributor. For international, it goes through the Funimation because they're right there in Texas and they can ship out
do have
the Gulf.
hub. They do have the hub in there.
So it'd be great to build those networks out. Sorry.
This is zipping it up. When class isn't done, I excuse you, not the bell.
Yeah, whatever. But
Fuck you, Mr. Severson.
Like, I do think that, of course, there is a little bit of worry when it comes to like monopolizing part of an industry where at this point Sony has Aniplex that does the licensing, then Funimation that does a lot of the dubbing and was their own service.
Their only competitor? The only real competitor now is going to be
in North America.
Netflix,
High Dive. Disney's gotten into it a little bit.
Yeah, but I think ultimately when it comes down to if Crunchyroll could secure shows with studios, don't even go after an individual. Like, hey, Toho, Kyoto Animation, here's like $200 million. we have exclusive rights to your shows for the next 2 years. And then you could be like, well, Right Stuff has the rights to sell all your stuff. Like I said, they could curb the market monopoly-wise, which could only end one of two ways. I think it'll end on the good side.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Right Stuff doing... It seems like the people there are pretty dedicated to what they do.
And personally, I also don't really see Sony, like, making bad decisions. When they owned Funimation, like, before acquiring Crunchyroll, everything was functioning as is. Everyone knew that the Aniplex side of stuff was very fucking expensive, but Aniplex focuses on the limited edition stuff. And Crunchyroll was more reasonably priced. Everything merged together. They fucking put the entire library on Crunchyroll, which, in the midst of that, everyone was like, are we going to have to go to the Funimation player? And they're like, no, that's stupid. And, made the good decision there, and everything quieted down again. Edition. And it's pre-order or something, isn't it?
I just thought it's real fucked up. I'll tell you afterwards.
But there's always been these like, I'm just gonna jump off a bridge, where it's like, look, if you're
do what you want, pussy.
Yeah. If being an anime fan is nice, if your entire personality is shafted. If your entire personality is based around only the fact that you watch anime, or the fact that a company was bought by a different company to make something part of a product that you already pay for better, and you're like, but they took away my porn, you're a fucking loser. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, that, I read too many of those comments today. Like, so many people were focused on the porn. It's so sad.
We can talk about more next time. It's kind of drawn late on there.
I gotta peek.
One big thing I hope this Sorry, audio listeners, he started to stretch, and this dude has fallen off multiple times in the pod. Push him.
Right.
I was going to say, hopefully with the merger, Right Stuff carries more items. Hopefully jars are an item.
No.
Love you all.
Goodbye.